KJ and Dondero, WEEI. Thank you for starting your Sunday with us. 617-779-7937. The text line is 37937. All right, we got Paulie in the hole, Mike on deck, but right now, Kelly from Amherst. We're talking Patriots. Go ahead. Thanks for holding, Kelly.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'll hold all day. No problem. So, listen, I understand the doom and gloom thing with the Patriots next year. I get, what was it, the one guy on the morning show said they're not going to win a game or something. I get it. People are worried about this team. I'm
Who
a
said
little
that,
more
Courtney?
optimistic, though. I'm a little more. Well, look, Greg Hill said they're going to go 500, and I'd say they're at least going to do that. Yeah, but no, listen. The offense comes down to incremental growth. I get it that when people look at what happened at the end of the season, it was just so awful that you feel like you got to totally, break through the next level. I think that over the course of the season, my man Mac developed a really great chemistry with Hunter Henry, a really great chemistry with Jacoby Myers. And I know people trash on Jacoby Myers, but when you throw him the ball, he catches it, man, and that counts for a lot. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with Kendrick Bourne, but I know this. He's already got a couple guys he feels real comfortable with. He was never going deep in that first season. I think he's going to go deep a little bit more, and the whole offense is going to be taken off. That's what I got.
Kelly, thanks for the call. Yeah, Mark?
Yeah, I think they're going to be better, too. I do think they're going to be better, too, but I also think teams around them are going to be better. And that's the problem. That's why I do think, if you're going to ask me this question, Bart Scott said they were going to be the last place team in the AFC East, and Rob Ninkovich said they were going to win 12 games. If I had to say, okay, which is more likely to happen, I would say the 12 games that they're
really?
going to. I think that's more likely. Yes,
I think if the Patriots have a bad season, HBO's Hard Knocks comes calling. What a great story that they're just salivating right now.
Yeah, they'll never do it. They'll never do it.
They'll never do it, but they've never had to make the call, right? Yeah. That's where they are. Let's go to Mike from Maine. More on the Patriots. Thanks for calling KJ and Dondero. You're on the air.
Yeah, and I'm just here to shine a little bit more sunshine on the station because that's all I've been hearing about is just how negative everything is with the team and the whole entire bit. I really think that Tyquan Thornton and Devontae Parker are going to open up the middle enough for Jonnu Smith to be a factor, for Hunter Henry to be more of a factor, and then for Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar to be what they are, which are slot receivers. So I'm looking at something that looks pretty good from my perspective. I know that we have a lot of Devontae Adams and Ron trophy polishers over there at the stations, especially, the afternoon guys. That's all they seem to want to think about. But there are other people in the league. There are other players in the league that actually play pretty well. And excuse me for making this correlation, and maybe it's a little bit too soon, but I think not full scale, but a mini-me version of a Randy Moss is going to happen with Devontae Parker. Not full scale. I'm just saying that Devontae Parker.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't go there, Mike.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray my Lord the soul to keep.
I can't go there, Mike. I will say.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me just try to connect the dots here.
Yeah.
They're
Way
big
back
dots.
when there was a Sports Illustrated article when Randy Moss went to the Raiders, and everybody was giving up on Randy Moss.
The All-Pro Randy Moss, right? Yes, the All-Pro Randy Moss.
Exactly right. Everybody thought
not
Randy
the
Moss
All-Pro Devontae Parker.
Randy Moss is the second best receiver.
What I'm saying is everybody gave up on him. And what I'm saying to you is that this may be a mini-me version of that revival. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Mike, thanks for the call.
Very mini. Randy Moss
Wayne
arguably was the most talented wide receiver to ever play. Ever play.
Randy Moss won it out of he admits he quit it on the Raiders.
Listen, this is where Mike, I think, is correct. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but that is how you have to build a football team and specifically an offense. Did you hear what he said about Devontae Parker and Tyquan Thornton? You have to run through them. So it's Parker, it's Thornton making plays, and then it trickles down from there. Your wide receiver production, then that allows the trickle down to occur. So then your guys on the outside are making plays, then all of a sudden Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry can make more plays, and then the running backs can make plays and run the ball. That's how it needs to happen.
Yeah, so you see the shootout happening in Green Bay, right? 35-32.
I'm just 31. Not convinced it's going to. But that's
what I'm saying. If you're going to be explosive receivers and do all these different things, that means you're putting points on the board. I don't see a whole lot of points going on the board above 21.
Look, I still think they'd be better off with a bona fide number one receiver instead of a bunch of BB minus guys.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, if they've got a bunch of BB or a B plus and a bunch of Bs, and Mac Jones does take 2 steps forward, they could go on a little run and we might be surprised. But until I see that production out of a wideout, I can't go there.
KJ and Dondero, WEEI 617-779-7937. In minutes, we'll get to the Deshaun Watson hearing coming up on Tuesday. Let's go to Paulie in the truck. He thinks a couple of trades will happen for the Patriots. Paulie, thanks for calling KJ and Dondero.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is what I think they're going to be doing, okay? What I'm saying, that what I'm seeing, the evidence that's before me. And I was all for kicking Aguilar inside when you got Thornton in the draft. But then I'm thinking they want Trey Flowers, they really do. So you got to clear cap space, and what they're doing, they're going to stay consistent with what they did early in the draft. They were looking for a guy. They wanted Zion Johnson, but he left. He was picked, and so they traded down because they figured they had that. They had that Jones for a guy. They really wanted that guy bad.
So you think so? So you think something's going to happen with Aguilar and Trey Flowers? What do you think?
I think what they're going to do in keeping what they did, what they moved Mason to create cap space to sign other guys, and they replaced the guy in the draft. I think they went a little too quick on that, but because they could have got him in the second round, they should have taken the nose or the left tackle from Central Michigan. They should have taken the nose from Connecticut. I would have taken the nose from Connecticut at that point, but. I think that now they're doing keeping in that, being consistent. What they're trying to do, they're going to create more space by letting go of that expensive receiver, Aguilar, who had a little production. Although they didn't go down the field a lot with the ball, they're going to allow Thornton to take that spot on the outside for a lot less money. He's younger, and they'll let him stretch the field. They either trade or cut Aguilar to create the cap space to sign another player, which will be specifically, I believe, Trey Flowers, to balance out that defensive line. Imagine if you had the kid from
Paulie, thanks for the call.
Look, if they could find a way to make that work.
I just had to put a couple of punctuation marks in there. Sorry.
Well,
period.
I don't know if they can get away from the Nelson Aguilar contract that easily.
Because I think it's like $12 million guaranteed.
Yeah. It's a bad contract.
So you can't release him. And let's just be honest when you answer this question. Who trades for Aguilar? Who says that's who we need?
Right. So I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to just have to work with what you've got on the roster. Trey Flowers doesn't excite me, but I think he'd be a better piece than Aguilar, especially with the perceived depth. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the depth they have at wide receiver. The question is, will somebody step up and be a dude? That's the question, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's literally like a version of American Idol or Survivor or what is that? The house where everybody stays in, who stays in the house. Real world, stuff like that. Like it's like a little mini reality TV show with the wide receivers. Like who's going to be able to step up and prove. Now, here's the crazy thing. If Aguilar steps, I think the candidate probably is Aguilar is because it's in the last year of his deal. And so he's going to want to be able to prove that he deserves real money. He is a first round pick. Somehow he's still in the league. Jonnu Smith in that same breath. So they're going to have that desire to really show in a contract year that they can get it done. And maybe to the genius of Belichick, right? This isn't all, schlep rock bad luck, but maybe to the genius of Belichick, he knows that if there are guys who still want to have a career in the league, they have to perform this year. They got to overperform this year or they have no career anymore. And you have them. And that might work for you. That might work.
That far. I don't know if he wouldn't have a career.
Well, look, I'll put it this way. Did N'Keal Harry get moved last year after that whole debacle at camp? No. He's still here. Yeah. He even took on Cam Newton's number. Like, how do you make it worse? Okay? He's still here. So nobody's wanted it. Nobody took him. And Bill will give you up for a sandwich. If that sandwich can return, like hunger. You feed hunger, right? So N'Keal's still here. Aguilar is going to have to play through that contract and show that he's worthy. And Jonnu Smith is in that same boat as well. Because here's the thing. If they have breakout years this year, are you begging for Aguilar and Jonnu Smith to come back next year? No. Exactly. So if those guys have, and that would be the genius that I would give a check mark to for Belichick. He knows he has guys in that wide receiver room, and I hate using the word room in the room. Get on the field. that it's do or die for their careers right now.